Hello everyone, welcome. Just giving people a minute to get here. So welcome to the 6th night of our daily meditations together. I'm Zainab and I'm very happy to be here. As a way of starting our time together tonight, I invite you to check in with yourself and notice how you are doing in this moment. If you could describe your current state of heart, mind, body with one word, what would this word be? And then as a way of connecting with everyone else who is live right now, I invite you to share your word in the live stream so that you get to see a little bit how others are doing and you get to share how you are doing and connect with other people. The topic for tonight is gratitude. And it might seem interesting because we are going through such a difficult time globally right now. And every day we're looking at scenarios of catastrophes and what can happen. And so it seems like it's not the best moment to be grateful for things. And actually, it's the best moment to practice gratitude because of all this work we are doing of taking precautions, preparing for the worst, or actually really going through some difficult experiences. I know some people are losing their jobs or having to take cuts or having to lay people off or just being required to stay at home all the time, maybe not being able to see some people we love and we want to see. So I won't go through the entire list, but clearly there is a lot of things that are challenging us right now. And so what we know about the brain and how the human brain works is that we have already built in this negativity bias. So our brains, our minds are constantly scanning for danger. And this is an evolutionary bias. We have developed it because if a dog bites you once, you want to remember that so that you can be more careful next time you are near a dog. The problem is when the mind constantly scans for danger and constantly scans for the negative, it needs to be balanced or counterbalanced by an intentional, conscious looking and scanning for what's good, for what we appreciate, for what we are grateful for. So gratitude practice really brings that happiness set point to a point where it doesn't need to be any lower than that, because of all this negativity bias of scanning the dangers, we consciously practice these positive mind states like gratitude so that we can feel a bit more balanced in our outlook on life. So really, this is a great moment to be practicing gratitude. And the good thing is research after research has shown that cultivating these positive mindsets like gratitude is possible. So if you keep at it, if you practice it, if you do 5 minutes of gratitude per day, over time, you will see that your mind will be more likely to find those things that you are grateful for. So you change the way your thought patterns work, basically. And therefore, tonight, the practice we will do is going to be a gratitude practice where we will experience this. And my invitation to you will be to repeat this practice. Maybe you can keep a gratitude journal. I know that this is something I enjoy a lot, and I go through periods where I really seriously keep my gratitude journal, meaning I journal every day. And I go through some periods where I don't do it every day. I do it here and there. Right now, because of the difficulty we're going through, I have gone back to journaling on gratitude every day. So just writing down at the end of the day things that I appreciated. And this doesn't have to be anything big. It can be that a call or a meeting that I was stressed about, it went well. Or it could be that I got to connect with someone I love over the phone. It could be that I got to open a book on my library. So it can be anything small that you really appreciated. And you can make this even more fun by sharing with friends or family. You can have gratitude buddies and you share with each other things that you are grateful for. And this can actually create some social interaction or accountability over this practice, and it could ensure that you do it more or longer. And with that, I want to recommend the book before we jump into the practice. Last night, someone asked me if I recommend any books to be reading at this time. And this is the book I recommend. It's called The Book of Joy. And this is a wonderful conversation between Dalai Lama, who is the spiritual and political leader of Tibet, and Desmond Tutu, who is an archbishop in South Africa. And both of these people, they have been really influential in history. They have helped their nations, their people, through extreme conditions of violation or segregation. And they both have been exiled for more than 50 years, really separated basically from their countries. And today, in their old age, they're known to be some of the most joyful people on earth. So how is it possible that someone can go through something so difficult and at the end of that emerge being even more joyful than before? And so I think their story or their wisdom and the advice they give is really something lifting and beautiful to be reading right now. And the book is really light. It's a conversation, so it doesn't feel like you're reading some scientific research or some dense book. And they basically describe the 8 pillars of joy, which are perspective, humility, humor, acceptance, forgiveness, compassion, generosity, and gratitude. So gratitude is the one we're going to be practicing tonight. So with that, I invite you to find a posture in which you feel awake and relaxed. It can be sitting or standing. And you can allow your eyes to close or you can lower your gaze. And if you are an experienced meditator, I invite you to center yourself, to anchor your attention on the present moment. And if you are a beginner or less experienced, I will give us some guidance. So you might begin by taking a few deep breaths, consciously slowing down and deepening the breath. And each time you breathe out, releasing a little bit of the tension that's in the body. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the hands, relaxing the face. You might notice where else in your body you're feeling contracted or tense, and you might experiment with breathing into that area and then releasing a little bit more. And if the attention goes elsewhere, you can simply kindly bring it back to the breathing. And eventually letting the breath go back to its natural rhythm and finding a place in your body where you can observe the natural course of the in-breath and the out-breath. This can be your nostrils or the rise and fall of your chest. You can imagine yourself like a still and clear forest pool. Grounding yourself to this moment where, at least for a few minutes, there is nothing to do, there is nowhere to be. We have just ended a long and tiring week. And on this Friday evening, you can notice if this can be a refuge or this can be a moment of rest. Poet Hafiz says, "I wish I could show you, when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being." So we will now begin this gratitude practice with this intention of noticing the light and love and appreciation that's already there within us. And we will do this in a very simple way. You might just offer yourself this question: what do I love? Or you can ask the question in another way: what do I appreciate? And just letting whatever answer comes to come. You might say, you love your home, you love sunsets, you love chocolate. You appreciate the fact that you are alive, the people and the animal and the plants you love. Just letting the answers come. And you might also sense what you appreciate about our current global situation. You might have an appreciation for the healthcare professionals. You might appreciate the people who are reading the articles or the news pieces that we read every day. You might be appreciating people who are giving a proper response. And then including yourself in this appreciation as well. Appreciating yourself wherever feels appropriate. And just staying with this question for one more minute. What do I love? What do I appreciate? And then you might slow the answers down a little bit and allow yourself to rest with one thing that you are deeply grateful for. I'm beginning to get the sense and the image of this thing that you love and you are grateful for. One way of cultivating positive mindset states is to just increase the duration. So reflecting a little longer than you normally would on this thing that you love and appreciate. What is it about you? What is it about this thing that lights you up, that touches your heart? And you might also allow the intensity of this appreciation to be there, letting it become fuller or bigger, and noticing how it lives in the body. So noticing the sensations of this gratitude inside the body. And really giving into this feeling, letting it take over, as well as noticing how this feels good, that there is often this sense of pleasure attached to gratitude or appreciation. And then we will repeat this one more time. So you might go back to that list of answers that came when you asked yourself, what do I love? What do I appreciate? And you might pick one more thing to intimately reflect on. Beginning by remembering this thing, what it looks like, what it feels like, how it moves, or details about it. And then reflecting on why this thing matters to you. Why do you care about it? What about this awakens your heart? And as you stay with this feeling a little longer, also letting it be a bit more intense, letting it be in its full capacity, letting it take a place in your body. And really this sense of giving in to this feeling, relaxing around it and enjoying it, or noticing what's enjoyable right now in this moment as you are appreciating this thing that you love or you care about. And this place, really, this place of gratitude and love and appreciation is our home, and it is vast. And a lot of life belongs to it, no matter how much time we spend scanning for dangers. There's also a lot of things we appreciate and love deeply. And so in the last minute of this meditation, you might sense how to make a home out of this feeling, out of this place. And as we sit together for another minute, you might listen to this poem by Hafiz called The Jeweler. If a naive and desperate man brings a precious stone to the only jeweler in town, wanting to sell it, the jeweler's eyes will begin to play a game, like most eyes in the world when they look at you. The jeweler's face will stay calm. He will not want to reveal the stone's true value, but to hold the man captive to fear and greed while he calculates the value of the transaction. But one moment with me, my dear, will show you that there is nothing Hafiz wants from you. When you sit before a master like me, even if you are a drooling mess, my eyes sing with excitement. They see your divine worth. And gratitude really is this practice of seeing the worth, the divine worth, the beauty in so many things that surround us. And so how can we connect from this place of consciously wanting to see beauty? That concludes our practice for tonight. I want to allow a few minutes of questions, if there are any questions. And if you need to hop out and get on with your next thing as a checkout, you can just share how you're doing in this moment with one word and offer it as a way of connecting with everyone else that's on the live stream right now. And so I'm just going to give it a minute to see if there are any questions. Any questions about what we answered, what we talked about tonight, about gratitude or about mindfulness in general? Okay. Well, if you have questions, you can always send me your questions on Instagram or YouTube. You can leave them down below the video. I'm happy to answer them and get back to you and support you as best as I can throughout this time. And tomorrow evening, 7:30 p.m. Paris time, we're going to be practicing mindfulness of thoughts. And Sunday, we're going to, at the same time, practice calling on your future self as a way of resourcing and finding strength. So hope you will join us. And until tomorrow evening, take care, everyone. See you.